Good evening, I'm John Carter and welcome to Poland Daily. Many discussions, debates and panels and presentations took place during the second day of the Economic Forum in Krynica, Poland, with almost 4,000 attendees from the world of politics, business and science. The leader of the Civic Platform opposition party, Grzegorz Schetyna, presented his vision for the future of the country. In turn, the Prime Minister of Poland, Mateusz Morawiecki, gave his speech in the evening. As is tradition, the Economic Forum handed out awards for Man of the Year, Business of the Year, New Culture of New Europe and the Best NGO in Central Eastern Europe.
The program of the Civic Platform and the Civic Coalition is first and foremost an investment in people. Work needs to be profitable. We want Poles to earn more and to pay less taxes, so those who would work for a minimal wage would get a 500 zloty bonus and a 114 zloty bonus from a lower tax, so more than 600 zlotys per month in total. We're investing in people.
A więc każdy, kto dzisiaj zarabia minimalne wynagrodzenie.
So the Civic Platform has graciously let us in on what their program will be. After all this time, if these incompetent people were to get into power again, it would be an economical disaster for Poland, so I wouldn't really bother with their program. We in turn will elaborate more on our program at the program convention in Lublin on Saturday.
Polska była w katastrofalnej sytuacji.
W tym starciu na programy już Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki will give his speech later in the evening, when he will be receiving the title of Man of the Year. The Polish PM is sure to use this opportunity to sum up his government's achievements over the course of his term of office, in light of the upcoming parliamentary elections in autumn.
I o tym, co Prawu i Sprawiedliwości udało się zrealizować przez ostatnie 4 lata.
The Polish Central Anti-Corruption Bureau has detained Jacek K., the former chairman of Polish oil refiner and petrol retailer Orlen. 5 others have also been detained. They heard charges of irregularities at the Orlen company. The prosecutor applied police supervision to those under questioning and bail bonds ranging from 20,000 to 300,000 zloty. The suspects may face up to 10 years imprisonment. Attorney General Zbigniew Ziobro commented on the case.
The extensive evidence material gathered points to the very serious misuse of money for private purposes in a way that qualifies those offences as crimes by our criminal code. On the other hand, the prosecutor's office and the Central Anti-Corruption Agency has very strong basis to believe that those crimes have been committed. There are behaviors and descriptions that, if they get into the public eye, will also project how the authorities at that time used the funds, we can say, public. Because Orlen is a company with a large share of the state treasury, how this money was used by the then authorities. It fits into the atmosphere and feel of the secret recording scandal at the Owl and Friends restaurant, of everything we heard there, of this language, of the politicians' attitude towards the state, towards what is public. This really is a lot in these new investigation results, and it's certainly translated into a decision to charge and detain the former chairman of the Orlen oil company.
The possibility of a hard Brexit has considerably diminished. 21 Conservative MPs, including some of the most important ones, have supported the procedure in the House of Commons to prevent Prime Minister Boris Johnson from being able to leave the EU with no deal on October the 31st. Johnson intends to defend himself by holding a snap election before the current Brexit deadline.
About the consequences of this vote tonight, it means that Parliament is on the brink of wrecking any deal that we might be able to strike in Brussels, because tomorrow's bill would hand control of the negotiations to the EU, and that would mean more dither, more delay and more confusion. I don't want an election. The public don't want an election. I don't believe the right honourable gentleman wants an election. But if the House votes for this bill tomorrow, the public will have to choose who goes to Brussels on October the 17th to sort this out and take this country forward.
We live in a parliamentary democracy. We do not have a presidency, but a Prime Minister. Prime Ministers govern with the consent of the House of Commons, representing the people in whom the sovereignty rests. There is no consent. There is no consent in this House to leave the European Union without a deal. There is no majority for no deal in the country.
The death toll from Hurricane Durian in the Bahamas has risen to 7. According to the local authorities, the number of dead may increase. Durian is now approaching Cape Canaveral in Florida, but has fortunately lost strength in the last couple of hours. It is currently classified as a second category hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson 5-point scale.
We are in the midst of one of the greatest national crises in our country's history. The government will bring to bear every resource of state possible to help the people of Abaco and Grand Bahama or any other island nation that's necessary. Life, to me, is by far more important than money. And if that means saving a life would interfere with my budget, I prefer to save a life.
Thank you very much for joining me here this evening at Poland Daily. I'm John Carter. Stay tuned after the break for Poland Daily weather. It's followed by the culture, then it's the history, and finally the travel.